Hey everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Scotty.
And we are the Film Roast
Podcast.
First of all, thank you for listening to most of what we did last year. And welcome to Season 2. Welcome to 2020.
Welcome, Kung Fu Fat Choi.
It's a new year for new movies.
Year of the Rat.
And yeah, it is the Year of the Rat. There you go. When does Chinese New Year start, or did it already start?
It's Saturday the 25th, which maybe when you're listening to this, might have just gone by.
There you go.
Depending on how fast the editor is.
You go. Well, he's under a lot of pressure, let's be honest. And
we got keep him with the wooden spoon.
I've got it under good authority that he is working very hard. He's a hard worker. He's also incredibly attractive. It's no wonder that he's already underpaid, underappreciated. But he's a fantastic guy. So shout out to the editor. You're amazing. You're incredible.
And he definitely edited the 3 lost episodes, which we never released.
Yeah, the 3 lost episodes that weren't released. Guys, there were supposed to be 3 episodes that came out at the end of last year, but we decided not to for several reasons. One of them being the quality was not as good as we would have liked. The second one being Yeet and Swag really took like massive priority, I feel, for the last month-ish of the year for us. And to be honest, I'm glad we left 2019 on a high note, given that our country was ravaged by fire.
Yes,
still is.
I think that was one of the biggest contributing factors was just how much stress the whole country's been under, for those who aren't aware.
Including us. But it's been... it was a rough month for us. Like, we were affected by it.
It was close to both of where we lived.
Yeah. There were several fires very close to both of our houses. And unfortunately, even though we're in the new year, fires are still raging in Australia. We're almost out of it. We're so close to being out of it. Just a couple more weeks of horrible hot weather.
Australian summer. Don't go here for summer.
No,
don't do it. Come here in the winter where it's nice temperature.
It's not. I mean, at the very least, autumn or spring. You know, like then you'll get decent weather, but not be under threat, I guess.
Under the ant under the microscope.
But the films that we talked about,
yes,
two of my favorite films.
Yeah, which is funny enough, isn't it? Ford vs Ferrari and
Knives Out.
And Knives Out.
Yes. What can we say? I mean, Knives Out was one of my favorites, personal favorites of the whole year.
It's probably the best one of the best cinema experiences I had was watching that movie.
Yeah. It was just fun.
And everyone enjoyed it. It's a movie for everybody, which is rare these days.
Yeah. Very, very good cast, very good directing, fantastic screenplay.
Great mystery, great comedy.
Great pacing. Just great everything.
Great
it just hit the nail on... fantastic car chase. Hit the nail on the head for so many reasons for me. And if you haven't seen it, go see it.
It's still out.
It's stupid that this is happening, but there's been certain online campaigns that you shouldn't listen to that are trying to boycott Knives Out.
Why?
Because Rian Johnson ruined Star Wars. Get over it.
I think most of them shut up.
Get over it.
You got to remember, some of these are trolls, not just
get over it.
I heard.
Yeah, I know. But like, I've seen comments on numerous.
There are toxic comments. If you see toxic comments, don't just unfollow those.
Just
don't participate.
Just grow up. Just grow up. Just get a brain of your own and grow up.
Find a different Reddit thread to follow.
Yeah, it's time to finish and with your childhood ways and be a man, as it were.
Well, we'll talk about more growing up in later sections when we get to them.
Yes. Also, another thing I would like to point out is you might have noticed a quality difference.
Oh yes, we have
in our voices.
We have got surgically voice improvements.
Yeah.
They were expensive.
Yeah, mine is the Tom Cruise. I don't know what you got, but my model's the Tom Cruise, and sometimes I get the urge to jump up on couches and scream, "Put your manners back in."
I think mine was meant to be Whitney Houston, but they put it upside down.
That's why it's so deep. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm sorry you didn't get your money's worth out of that
I
one.
definitely didn't. A bit pretty shitty surgeon, to be honest.
But yes, well, I won't thank anyone because we bought it ourselves. We didn't get any donations or anything. But yeah, we had a slight upgrade in the studio, and I think it's sounding pretty good.
And we don't like to plug brands, but this one may rhyme with Trode.
Yes, and that's all we're going to give you because Trode has not given us this equipment. We've just gone out and bought it ourselves.
Yeah.
But fantastic equipment. It sounds really great. So yeah, who was the
the trivia
to the last episode that we did that wasn't released? Who was it, Scotty?
It was Don Johnson.
Of course.
From Knives Out.
How did I not know that? How did I? Yeah, wow. Don Johnson.
The only thing I can say is that Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
She really laid it into Ellen, which is hilarious. Anyway.
So without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, well, we haven't even talked about what we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about how we're reformatting
January.
the episodes. Yes. So we're doing a monthly episode now, and to make it simple. So we calling it January Jones, the episode?
No.
Okay. We're not calling it January Jones. But to lay it out, basically, we'll go through the box office of each episode, and then we'll go into stuff we want to talk about. Basically, that's it.
Yeah. So you just got to suck it up. And if we don't talk about something that you were looking forward to, then
email us aggressively.
Tough. That's really tough. But there's going to be a lot that we're going to talk about, I feel.
Yeah. There's
going to be a lot. So, yeah, let's get into it. So box office.
The box office, yes. So
box office. So you were in the show notes, which you might have listened to on Facebook, guys.
Yeah, just a shout out to something else we did.
Yeah, we took a look at the box office, like the highest box office grossing films in. This was Australia.
We did the States in the end.
Okay, in the States,
because we thought it was more relevant.
Well, to be fair, it is. That's the big money maker, I guess, for a lot of films. And so what we've got is a short list of the top 10. Uncut Gems, Spies in Disguise, Dr. Dolittle, Knives Out, Frozen 2, Little Women, Jumanji: The Next Level, Bad Boys for Life, 1917, and Star Wars.
Okay, well, let's start at the top. Uncut Gems. We haven't seen it yet, but we're looking forward to it.
No. Well, here in Australia, it will be coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
So anyone here in Australia who is looking forward to seeing the Safdie brothers' next film starring Adam Sandler, they can see it on Netflix from January 31st.
If anyone's seen PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson's Punch Drunk Love,
yes,
this is in many ways a spiritual successor to that movie.
I love Punch Drunk Love.
Great movie.
When I first saw it, I thought it was just incredible because I'd never seen Adam Sandler outside of his, comedy shtick.
Shtick is the right word, because I mean,
it gets old sometimes.
It did get old. That's why Jack and Jill happened.
Oh boy, and numerous other films that should not have been happening. But that being said, which one though?
The last one that came out on Netflix.
The Holiday or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No, there was The Holiday, and then there was Assassin. Like there's Assassins. I don't know. There's something.
Yes.
Something on Netflix. But to be fair, he does make movies to give his friends jobs. He gets his friends paid, and if I was his mate, I would be so grateful that he's just not giving a shit about the quality of the show. He just gives a shit about giving people jobs. That's awesome, though.
It would be nice if there was a balance there where he does both.
That would be ideal, but that we'd be talking about in
the
an
universe
ideal
isn't
world.
perfect.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for that, I can say Adam Sandler is pretty awesome. He gives people jobs.
He does.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
We like the directors, the
Safdie brothers.
The Safdie brothers, yes.
They did. What was that one with Robert Pattinson in it?
I have seen it as well.
Yeah, so
it has an unforgettable title.
It does, very unforgettable. But it is also going to be on Netflix as of next month, I believe. As will another Safdie brothers picture is either already up there or
brief aside. Netflix is doing a good job.
Well, they're doing.
No. Well, I'm going to say
Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop Factory is also on Netflix, so let's not get carried away here.
That's an unintentional comedy, though. Anyway,
very unintentional.
No, but my point is, I was ready.
Stick rocks up your vagina, people.
Yeah.
Stick rocks up your
And get
vagina.
candle scented. Anyway.
Scented like vaginas.
Yeah. But
rotten
my
fish.
point was going to be, we were both
No wonder
ready
Chris
to
left them.
unsubscribe to Netflix, weren't we?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
But they've brought out some stuff recently that's
yeah, they're gonna have a lot of Studio Ghibli is coming to Netflix. Also, Dragon Ball Z, Kai, so the shorter, less elongated version of Dragon Ball Z is coming to Netflix as well.
Less elongated doesn't mean it's short or.
Hey, it's 6. Is it 6 seasons?
Yeah.
6 seasons.
It's still a good amount of episodes.
The last one was like 9 seasons.
Yeah.
And each season had like over 30 episodes or something, which was insane.
Well,
and half of them were just them powering up.
Yeah, well, basically it was one manga chapter became an episode in the anime. And if you know anything about manga chapters, sometimes nothing happens in them.
Yeah. Great artwork, but sometimes the plot gets lost.
Lost in translation.
Anyway, we've gone on a bit of a tangent, thanks to Uncut Gems and Netflix.
Well, that's the idea, isn't it?
The next one on the list was Spies in Disguise. I'm pretty sure that's Will Smith and
Tom
Holland, and it's an animated film about a spy who gets turned into a pigeon. Yeah. It looks horrible.
It does. Basically, I had this conversation the other day at work where there was a lady who came in from the heat with her daughter, and I asked what she was going to see at the cinema, and she said Doolittle. She didn't even consider Spies in Disguise.
Did you just say Doolittle?
Doolittle.
It sounded like you said Doolittle.
Doolittle.
Is that like a sequel to Stuart Little?
Doolittle.
Doolittle.
It's like it's what's his name? Not Chris Rock. The other, who's the guy?
Ben Stiller.
No, the guy.
David Schwimmer.
White chicks actors.
White chick. Oh yeah.
As Stuart Little.
Okay, yeah, I get it. So it's like the hood version of Stuart.
Yeah.
I got a friend who'd love that.
I mean, in some ways that might be unintentionally funny as well. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Stuart Little was.
Yeah. I mean, Hugh Laurie can't be in everything good.
I disagree. He automatically makes everything good by being in it. But anyway, so Spies in Disguise, I think it's
we don't intend to watch it.
No,
that says enough. And we see kids' movies quite regularly. So.
Well, speaking of kids' movies, the next one on the list is Dr. Dolittle, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland as well, I believe is in it, and a cast of other ones. Rami Malek is in it.
Tom Holland is also.
Tom Holland.
He's also going to be in that other animated movie with
Hero with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
The Disney one.
He's doing a lot of vocal work.
Yeah, well, good for him.
Poor voice actors, they're all losing their jobs to real actors.
Honestly, I don't think in Hollywood there is such a thing as a professional voice actor. I mean, there is, but like not in the big budget films anymore. Yeah. I feel like most of them are just celebrities or very famous actors who just do it.
Bill Hader.
Yeah. Sure, Bill Hader. I love him too. He's awesome. But like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of voice actors are now mostly in either anime dubs or video games, or just cartoons on like Cartoon Network.
Or both.
Or all of the above.
Or Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart's pretty amazing.
He's been in lots of things.
He's been in so much. And I wish he was in more, to be honest. I would like to see him in a multitude of different things.
Well...
aside from the Emoji film, we can just strike that from the list and never talk about it again.
What character did he
Knives
play?
Out is the next one.
Yes. Knives Out, one of the best movies to see at the cinema last year.
Yeah, one of the best movies of 2019. So well written, so well directed, so well acted, and the plotting and the pacing of this film is, in my opinion, it's one of the most perfectly crafted narratives that has been put to cinema in recent years.
Also, it's a movie you want to go back and watch again after seeing it.
I saw it twice. Did you say your mother saw it?
She saw it 3 times.
3 times. There you go.
But I'll point that out. It's a movie that transgenerational. You can see it as a kid. You can see it as an adult. Everyone loves this movie.
Yeah. It's just great. It's great fun. It's a great fun film. And the next one is Frozen 2. I didn't see this. Yeah. You did.
I did. I had a unique experience in the fact that...
A unique experience.
Well, it was, as I said, it was fire season here. And going into the cool cinema to watch a movie about a cold place instantly improves any experience.
Did you have an ice cream with you? And
No. I would have got brain freeze.
That would have been good, though. You would have been feeling cold and cool, and it would have been
I had a nice coffee afterwards.
I'm thinking about being cold right now, and it's already improving my mood.
So I've come back and forth on the movie, having watched it. There are a lot of problems in the movie. It's a very
Well, the first one,
manufactured.
the first one had a lot of problems as
The,
well.
the problems in the first one are more apparent in the second one.
Yikes!
But it almost saves itself with one particular song, but then it undoes the ramifications of that song in the next scene.
That's sad.
The songs are good. They grow on you after a while.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to the instant catchiness of "Let It Go."
Mm.
There, as I said, there is one song in particular. There are a couple of songs actually that come out of nowhere. It felt like the Jasmine songs in Aladdin, where they just felt ramshackled in. But there was a couple of characters that were basically that in the movie anyway.
Yeah,
which is not that unusual.
It's interesting the way that Disney's going. Their most successful films are now their live action superhero films, and their least successful films, critically, I mean, tend to be the ones that they used to be good at. You know, like the animated ones.
You know, Lady and the Tramp came to cinemas between this and our last podcast, and nobody.
The live action one.
Yeah.
Well, that went straight to Disney Plus.
It didn't, but it did.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I've got Disney Plus.
No one saw it at the cinema.
Well, it was only out for like a week, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it had no views.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It was a very last. It wasn't. It was only announced when Disney Plus was announced, though.
Yeah.
Like it was like a package deal with Disney Plus, really. You know, get Disney Plus and you get to watch this movie that no one else has seen yet. I don't know what the figures are for Disney Plus viewings on it, but
well, I know Disney Plus is doing well. It doesn't need movies like that.
No.
It had the quality from the get go because it had Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. So
exactly. Anyway, after Frozen 2, we've got Little Women.
Yeah.
Which is directed by Greta Gerwig.
Mm-hmm.
And
Little Woman
stars Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. There's so many times where I've mispronounced that name.
Well, it's okay. Everyone does.
I've heard it, literally heard it, and then tried to say it straight after hearing it.
I thought it was Saoirse Ronan for a while.
And I've got it wrong. Yeah, I thought it was that too. Because I remember watching an interview where she said that, and I took that away, and I thought that was the right way to say it.
No,
but I misheard it.
She has to deal with idiots a lot, I'm sure.
Well, she gets she does press junkets all the time.
Yeah.
So yes, the answer is yes. But you saw this film. I didn't get a chance to, and I feel really bad because I did want to watch it. Have you seen the other Little Women films? How does this stack up with? I don't know.
It's a good one.
Okay.
At the same time, it's very well performed. It's very well written, as in adapted.
Okay.
But it's still Little Woman. If you like the Little Woman story, you'd like the movie.
Okay.
If you didn't like the story, you might not like the movie.
I just remember a scene from, I can't remember which one I saw, but one of the siblings throws another sibling's book in the fire, and that made me upset.
Well,
that made me upset.
Nazis.
Yeah. Did you just make a jerking off motion?
It was more of a damn Nazis.
Jerk off, damn Nazis.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next film on the list is Jumanji: The Next Level.
Just another point.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The fact that Little Women did so well.
Yeah.
This is the box office.
Yeah, this is the box office.
So that's great.
I think it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not even though you've got criticisms of the film,
I don't really. It's more of
it's just not your type of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the story, but I don't love it.
Yeah. Right. That's fair.
As classic period pieces go, it's not my favorite of the. But I can see why it's relevant today.
Yeah. I've heard that its relevancy is quite poignant.
Yes.
As films go,
and the way they have paced the film highlights it. So.
And if you haven't seen any of Greta Gerwig's earlier stuff, Lady Bird is on Netflix right now. Mm-hmm. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. Here in Australia, at least. I'm not sure about the States.
Yeah. It'll be somewhere.
We do have listeners in the States, I saw.
Uh-huh.
So thank you so much for you stateside listeners for tuning in.
We should be saying good day, mate, or some Aussie.
Nah. I'll give him an Aussie thing where it's yeah nah.
I did that to someone at work yesterday. Nah. She gave me a look of how dare ye.
How dare ye? Yeah. Was she dressed in middle-aged uniform? Where she's got a very long apron on, very long dress, and she was railing against the monarchy.
She did have a long apron on because
how
that's
dare
sort of
ye?
part of our work uniform. But yes.
How dare ye?
How dare ye? Shame, shame. Ring the bell.
Speaking of shame, Jumanji: The Next Level.
What's that shameful?
I went into it. It was a segue.
Okay.
You take it or you leave it. I took it, and it was a bad segue because I actually really enjoyed
Yeah,
Jumanji: The
this
Next
one
Level.
you've seen and I haven't seen.
Yes,
so.
exactly. Jumanji: The Next Level is a sequel to the Jumanji film that came out like 2-3 years ago, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, and Jack Black. I can't believe I remembered all those names.
Done.
Thank you so much.
It's
Usually I'm very scatterbrained and I can't do this, but I did it. I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. It's not a perfect film. It's not even like a great film. It's not one that I would go back and rewatch. But as
if this was on TV and you were sitting down, you'd keep watching it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you've got kids, I would take them to see it.
Okay.
I'd take them to see it. It's fun. It's fun without being completely stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's not stupidly dumb.
It's
fun.
not Skyscraper.
Also, Danny DeVito is in it, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson pretends to be him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what sold me. I was like, The Rock is speaking like Danny DeVito. All my prayers have been answered. I am now able to die a happy man.
Okay.
And pass away in my sleep, dreaming of Danny DeVito pretending to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. If that ever happens, that would be awesome.
How are the action scenes? Were they sucker punch?
No, they were good. They weren't amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it I won't give it that, but they were better than average.
Mm-hmm.
There's this
sufficient.
There's this hilarious scene where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character in the game has a nemesis that Danny DeVito has no idea about, and he's beating up all of this guy's henchmen while protecting the others. And then they escape. They go outside of the little city that they were in. And then as they're riding away, the villain comes out with this rocket launcher and aims at Danny DeVito, who's like ages and ages and ages away. And they get off the horses, and Danny's like, The Rock as Danny is like, "That's it. I'm through with these people. I'm going to go back and I'm going to kill him." And then the guy fires a rocket launcher, and they're all having this argument. No, Grandpa, you can't go back and kill him. Yeah, I'm going to go back and kill him. The rocket launcher comes in, kills all of them. The guy with the rocket launcher and all of his cronies cheer and then go back into the city, and they all respawn. Yeah. And it's hilarious. It's fantastic. I do enjoy this film. Not saying that I would go out of my way to buy it or even see it again, but it's not a terrible film marketed to, the solid 10 to 15-year-olds.
It did well in the box office for a reason.
Yeah. I think it's earned.
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
Unlike some other on the list that doesn't deserve.
I might argue with you on that, even though.
Spies in Disguise doesn't deserve to be there.
Next
the next one, Bad Boys for Life, For Life is up there. I'm not surprised.
No.
There's a legacy here, even though I don't believe it deserves to have one, where Michael Bay has created these characters who are cops in the city, shooting bad guys and taking money and all that other shit. I'm not a big Bad Boys fan. Never have been. Probably never will be.
I was more of a Point Break guy.
Yeah, that's fair. Point Break is the better version of almost not the same thing, but the buddy cop film. Point Break is better.
I hear it's passable. If you like that sort of movie, go watch it.
Wait, Bad Boys for Life is passable? Yeah. I've heard it's all right. Also, Michael Bay only produced it, I think.
Yeah, he didn't direct it. He wasn't creatively involved at all, I think.
Well, that's good. That's very good to hear. Because I don't like Michael Bay.
I'm just thinking of certain Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
If you know what we're talking about, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. If you don't, well, you lost.
You're missing.
But I'm just gonna go for a little bit of sidetrack. Like, the reason why I don't like Michael Bay is because you can see it in his filmmaking. He's a bit sexist. Not a bit. He's very sexist. And there's been several hazy accounts about him borderline sexually harassing some of his female stars. That sound is Scotty with a
I'm
spray
squishing
bottle.
myself, and we'll leave it at that.
Don't say it like that.
I don't know what you mean.
You're wetting your... No, that's worse. You're moist... No. Let's move on. 1917...
Well, that movie got me very excited.
Sam Mendes. Sam Mendes directs this film, 1917, about these two guys in World War I, and it's set over the course of... It's set over the course of maybe 8 hours.
Yeah. It's almost time specific.
Almost time specific. I love this movie.
I do too.
I
I think this is the movie I want. It's this or Once Upon a Time that I think.
Let's save that question for when we get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1917. If you haven't seen this film, you are slowly running out of time to go see it.
Yeah.
And I would go see it in the cinema. I think it does deserve to be seen
definitely.
on the big screen.
This is Deakins at his best.
Yeah. Well, not just Deakins. This is Sam Mendes at his best.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
And
Like,
if you watch,
this is his best film, I think.
Yeah, probably.
It's certainly one of my favorites that he's ever made. And it's such a compelling story. And I'm not sure whether that's because of the war aspect of it, the realness of the danger that they were in, but also the way that it's been shot. It's made to look like it's one take.
And that's not a shtick. I think a lot of people just run with that on the critics' side of just going like, it's just a thing. It's just a gimmick. No, it's not. It's strategically done. It brings you into the film and the environment in a very clever way.
Yeah. You feel like you're there with these characters walking through hell as they're going through what they're going through. And also, one thing that I really loved about this movie is it felt like a Greek myth, this epic, grand, almost impossible adventure that these characters go on, even from the pit stops that Greek mythology has, where they find the healer or they find the well of life and they drink from it and they continue on their journey. And there's moments of respite, there's moments of danger, like intense danger. And for me, anyway, from the very moment we started to the very end of the film, I was gripping my seat.
Yes.
I was on the edge of it. I was so there.
It was tension, and always earned tension. And everything in the movie told you when to be tense and when not to be tense. And every reaction was earned.
And genuine as well.
Yes.
Everything in the film felt genuine. And this goes back to classic filmmaking. We see the classic, we start in one place and it comes around to a very similar place by the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
It also felt for me like a top-notch video game. Like I was playing through a top-notch video game without controlling the character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there are some walkthrough games, like indie walkthrough games that you can do that are usually very cool storytelling. Because that's the only way to do them, basically. But that it reminded me a few of them.
Yeah. Just beautiful. I love the movie.
Yep. And
this is the number 2 spot, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's impressive for me that a film that wasn't made by Christopher Nolan, that is about war, manages to even crack the five spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Especially in this day and age where a lot of action films are coming out, like Bad Boys 2 and Jumanji and all that other stuff. But this took the number 2 spot.
Well, when we were in the theater watching this movie, we had some old people. I can't think of a politically good way of saying old people.
Lots of old people.
But I mean, people who felt like they had either lived through similar experiences or been told from direct relatives about similar experiences.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's annoying having people react, but this was never annoying because it just felt like everyone
Well, there was one moment where the woman, there was a couple, older couple down the front, and the lady was like, after the character had said something, a very pivotal moment, very emotional moment. She turned to the husband, and I don't think she was meaning to be this loud, but the music kind of dropped off, and she said, "What did he say?"
Yeah.
And the other guys, "He said he's going home!" Just this old couple down the front just screaming at each other. It was adorable.
It is kind of funny.
It took me out of the movie, but it was worth it. It was great. Anyway.
Yeah. That was a good
number 1 spot.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of obvious if you know anything about anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously episode 9.
Yeah, episode 9 of The Witcher.
Yes.
That's the highest grossing.
We're kind of looking forward to that, aren't we? A little bit.
Oh, dear. No, it's episode 9 of Star Wars. That's to be expected, which is weird because you had all the fans after the Last Jedi say,
"We're not going to see the next one.
No one's going to see the next one. The next one will fail." They all went. Yeah, of course they would.
Of course they did.
Because they're idiots. They're not going to follow through on a threat like that.
Did you see it at the cinema?
Huh?
Did you see it at the cinema?
Well, yeah, I did, but I liked The Last Jedi, so...
Yeah, okay.
I'm not one of the ones who promised not to see it.
I think the best way to talk about episode 9 is it's the same as episode 2.
Yeah.
The studio caused everyone to counter-react to the what.
It's well, in that way, yes, but also in another way, it's very similar to episode 6, in that a lot of the weird things that they committed to in the previous 2 films, they backtracked on.
Yeah.
And did weird shit with. Like Princess Leia's character arc in episode 6 was trash.
Yeah.
Absolute trash. Similarly, stuff happens in this film that is also trash, that takes away a lot of guts and meaning from a certain character. I'm not going to spoil it just in case anyone else has seen it.
Yep.
We're also going to do I think we're going to do a podcast episode solely on Star Wars, on the lore of Star Wars that I'd love to do and love to delve into.
Yep.
Hopefully more closer to wintertime, because I want to spend quite a lot of time on it, and I don't want to be in a hot room.
We'll do a Star Wars special. Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe when
the 4th, May the 4th.
May the 4th? Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's do it for May the 4th.
Yep.
Now, lock it in, Eddie.
We're doing a May the 4th episode. And
Americans,
the good, the bad, and the ugly is Star Wars.
The Americans are listening to that going, who the fuck is Eddie?
No, okay.
Who the hell is Eddie? Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Good for you.
Google it. So, yeah, that's our top 10 for the box office in America, in the States, which is, like, it does reflect pretty much everywhere.
Are there any surprises
on
that list, really? I think
there were.
I think it's good that some of the Oscar movies are actually that high.
Yeah.
I was looking at the list further down.
I was surprised that Uncut Gems was on it, to be honest.
The Grudge was number 11 or 12.
Okay.
And which is interesting to me.
Is that the Remy? That's the Remy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Remy, is Sam Remy doing it, or was it his brother?
I can't remember.
It's one of the Remy brothers who did it.
But apparently it's not doing that well in terms of
okay.
box office. I don't know how good the movie is. We don't get it for another 2 weeks here.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's usually the case with horror films.
Mm-hmm.
They usually test audiences first, and then, I was surprised by Uncut Gems, to be honest. I didn't expect Uncut Gems to be on it, and maybe it's because of Adam Sandler. I did read a couple of reviews where people were expecting it to be a comedy. And because of Adam Sandler, like they saw Adam Sandler, it's like, oh, Uncut Gems, that must be a comedy. Let's go see Adam Sandler in a comedy.
There are some parts of it that are funny, but it's more of it's not that sort of funny.
Yeah, exactly. It's high art funny. It's not stupid, dumb idiot funny. I'm sorry I said that, but at the same time, I'm not really.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was
Jordan.
Uncut Gems. I'm going to look up some of the reviews for this.
Okay.
Because it's going to be funny. I hope it's going to be funny.
I'm kind of looking forward to it now.
Yeah, I'm going to... Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to look up the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Just read the top 3 or something.
Yeah. I'll just give it some time. This is important. Audience score for Uncut Gems is 52%, which is rotten. But the critics
that's because
love it.
they're all going in for expecting
Adam
Waterboy
Sandler
or Click or
Hold on, I gotta
Happy Madison?
load everything.
I can't remember.
Happy Madison.
Yes.
Happy Madison.
Do you know why?
Whoa.
You know what's funny is most of his movies have been purged from my mind because I think Anchorman is the better version of all his movies.
Yeah.
40 First Dates. That's another
50.
one.
Is it 50 First Dates? I thought it was
Maybe.
50 First Dates.
X First Dates with Drew Barrymore. Sounds like hell.
Yeah. So most of the comments I've seen 4 now that say it's too much cussing, too much swearing, don't like it. Don't like it.
And then when they cuss,
it wasn't fun. It was difficult to not walk out. The language was over the top filthy. I like Adam Sandler, but what was he thinking when he accepted this role? More than disappointing. One of worst movies I have seen in years. One of worst movies.
Yes. Good English.
This movie is like listening in on an argument for 3 hours. You have no idea what they're arguing about, and nor do you care. You just wish one of them would strangle the other so you can just go to sleep.
That's, you know what's funny? That's the sort of review they'd actually have on the poster.
I thought it was a badly made movie. I like Adam Sandler, but I think he should stick to comedies. Wow.
Audiences.
Yeah, interesting. And then all of the other reviews are basically saying, it's great. It's not made to be a fun film. It's not a fun movie. It's not a film that is telling you life is great and life is excellent. It's actually saying something that obviously the Safdie brothers believe to be true.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the film yet, and I want to do a review on it.
Yep.
At some point when it does come out, which
So
will be
probably
the 31st of January, by the way, on Netflix.
Yeah. So by the next podcast, we'll probably talk about it.
Next month, we'll be talking about it, I think. But yeah, so that is Uncut Gems. That was the big surprise for me. I feel like all the other ones, you can kind of see why they landed on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Uncut Gems was definitely, whoa, okay.
Anything missing from the list you can think of?
I'm trying to think of what has recently come out that actually deserves to be on the list. It's difficult because
when I remember seeing the list, even stuff that from last month that was good was still on the top 20.
Well, Knives Out, that's another one. Like, that's been out for 2 months now, and it's still there. It's still on the top.
Shows how much people appreciate it.
That's great. So, suck it, you.
Okay. Do you know what else was in the
haters?
top? You know what else was in the top 15?
What?
And another movie we can't believe we watched.
What?
Cats.
Oh yeah.
Just to all the people who are thinking about going and watching Cats who still haven't got the memo, don't.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. This is honestly the worst
movie of the
thing.
decade.
I'm not calling it a movie. It's a thing. It's a thing that it's an abortion that didn't happen, is what it is.
It's like looking through a kaleidoscope of all your worst nightmares.
Yeah. And they're all trying to kill you,
and you don't understand them.
And you don't. They're all.
You know those dreams you have
nonsense.
where there's things that don't make sense, but they forced to make
sense. Everything is moving weirdly, and you're very close to something, but you're also very far away, and something is trying to kill you,
and you have motion sickness the whole time.
That movie sucks. That movie sucks so bad, and the ending is the worst fucking. You've got Judi Dench there. Singing about how you should treat cats with respect because we are above you. We are better than you. We can lick our own asses and we're better than you. And it's just like, you're supposed to bow to the cat when you see it. You're supposed to speak politely to the cat. You are supposed to feed the cat whatever it wants. No, sorry. Fuck you. And it made me want to go out, and the next cat I saw, I was going to kick it.
I was going to say, strangling the cat seems like a more...
It made me hate cats, the creature. And I used to hate cats. And then there's one in our neighborhood, which is really nice. It comes up to you, and
I know the one.
It's a nice cat. It's a good cat. And now, again, I'm back to square one because of this movie. This fucking movie tells you to hate cats. Essentially, by being a piece of shit.
It's the exact opposite of I Love Dogs.
Yeah, exactly. The precise opposite of I Love Dogs. Yeah, Cats the movie.
I wouldn't be
trash.
surprised if Hooper can't make another movie.
I feel bad because I don't feel like this was the movie he wanted to make. Maybe he did want to make it to start with, but it's very obvious that it was rushed. Very obvious that a lot of it felt like a lot of scenes were cut out of it that would have made sense if they were in it.
Why would they put them in? Why would they put them in? It's like there's nothing to tell.
But that's it. Like,
it's based on a stage musical.
That wasn't like it was a huge success, but it's not a good musical.
Yeah, no, it's like
it sucks.
It's there for the songs. It's not a cohesive story, really.
No, it's not at all. It's well, that's the thing. It could be. It's got the opportunity to be, and it's because it's about this cat who gets thrown out on her ass from an owner who promised to love her and doesn't. There's so much opportunity there for a narrative.
Yeah.
And instead they waste it on musical numbers that don't actually say anything about characters at all.
And in my head, the only reason I can see Idris Elba and Taylor Swift agreeing to it is if they could pretend to have a sex scene at some point backstage.
Pretend to have a sex scene at some point backstage.
They'll fake a sex scene backstage.
A fake one.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, don't worry. There's a huge fake one. There's a huge fake sex scene back here. Don't come back here. Oh boy. Yeah. What a piece of trash.
The lead female may have a career in the future, and
she was great. She was honestly the only good part about it. Everyone else made me laugh in all the wrong ways.
Even the black
made me cry.
The actress who did
the
big song, like I'm sure it's that's the other thing. It's like any talent. Like there are dance sequences and choreography. I'm sure it's excellent. But the things you cannot, the way it's shot, the way the CGI happens, you cannot see the amazing things on display.
Yeah.
It is a travesty.
It is. It's shocking. Incredibly Evil and Vile.
That's Cats.
And also a film on Netflix called Shocking, Incredibly Evil and Vile, starring Zac Efron as a murderer.
Oh,
I didn't realize I even did that.
well done.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little break for our audience, and
Go have a beer.
yeah,
Why beer? I don't know.
whatever you want to have.
Have some water.
And then we'll be back to talk about the Oscar nominations.
Drum roll, please.
For 2020. So yeah.
And now it's time for a little segment titled Jordan and Scotty Tried to Pay Off Their Student Debt.
Have you ever taken your Yangtze giant soft-shelled turtle for a walk, only to find it can't keep up, or worse, its feet have become trapped in slow-drying cement after you ignored the wet cement sign the local road workers put up after they fixed the pavement you and your neighbours signed a petition about way back in December 2017?
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Well, Littlefoot Sneakers does not have an answer for that. But they do have a great selection of shoes designed specifically for your turtle.
Or tortoise. Tortoise.
Yes,
tortoise?
or tortoise or tortoise. We do not judge.
We do not judge. From the great Galapagos giant turtle to the humble terrapin, Littlefoot Sneakers have the shoes that you can put your turtle in.
Head over to www.littlefootturtleshoes.org and enter the code FAKE10 for 10% off added to your purchase. That's FAKE10 for 10% added to your purchase.
Littlefoot Sneakers.
Littlefoot Sneakers.
Littlefoot Sneakers. Now back to the show. Welcome back. Well, that was very interesting. That was a very interesting break. Didn't realize that company had ads for that thing that they do. But there you go.
Yeah.
Oscar nominations.
Woo!
Oscar nominations.
The fun time of the year.
Yes. I
love the new host.
Let's take a. Yeah, nobody. Let's take a recap of what happened last year.
And the year before. Oh dear.
God.
The Oscars have become a joke, let's be honest.
Oh, man. I mean, they were a joke a couple of years ago, but now...
2017, I felt like the Oscars...
What happened 2017?
I don't remember, but it felt good. I remember talking about the Oscars in 2017.
Let's Google it. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to look this
2017, 2018. It was like... 2018 was a joke for another reason, but...
2017 Oscar noms. Nom.
The winner was
complete list of
the 2018 had good
nominees.
nominees. It just had a joke at the end, thanks to Faye Dunaway and what's his name?
Who?
Well, when they got the wrong.
Oh yeah, Moonlight and La
La
La Land. Yes, yeah.
That was a joke, but
that was rough.
That's so funny.
Oh, that was rough.
Considering what happened, I have to say kudos to the all involved in accepting the awards because they were very gracious and other people might have been. Imagine if Sean Penn.
Best Picture had Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, Moonlight.
Exactly, great movies.
Fantastic films for the most part, except for maybe, I think Fences.
Yeah, it was.
Fences was a bit of a, I don't think that should have been there.
No.
But also actor in a leading role, Casey Affleck, Andrew Garfield, Ryan Gosling, Viggo Mortensen, Denzel Washington, fantastic.
Yeah.
That was just a great...
As much as people have complained about Casey Affleck for personal reasons, as an actor, he was great in Manchester by the Sea.
He is a fantastic actor, regardless of what he is.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting... Oh, we get Viola Davis for Fences as well. Naomi Harris, Nicole Kidman.
Naomi
Octavia
Harris
Spencer.
was so good in
Yeah, and Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of almost not really a comeback. Well, yeah, it was sort of a comeback for her because she kind of disappeared for a bit.
Yeah, well, there are reasons for that.
Yeah. Anyway, Oscar nominations for this year, we have the Best Picture and...
Oh, last year was Green Book 1. That's why it was a joke.
Fuck that. Fuck that piece of shit. honestly, it's
Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali were fantastic in that movie.
Yes, they were. But the film itself was white trash.
Yes, it was white trash.
It was white trash. It was Italian American trash. It was just not a good film. And people are going to disagree. That's fine. But
there are some positives in that movie. But
there are. But they rearranged some of the events in the film to make Viggo's character
it felt very cynical.
More heroic.
Yeah.
As a white person.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't stick to the actual life of the guy that they were trying to follow.
Yeah.
It was just, and they had to apologize to the the family refused to see it because it wasn't accurate to what his story really was. And that should be a big red light, really, to everyone that this film is not truthful, and it isn't. And I was defending it before I saw it, and I was so angry when I did see it, and I was like, "Wow, this film."
They actually had a point. It still wasn't as bad as Bohemian Rhapsody, which you refused to see. So
that's true, and I still haven't seen it. Fuck that movie too. All right, so in the race for Best Picture this year, there's 1917, which we already talked about. We got Ford vs Ferrari.
Woo.
We got Joker. We have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Woohoo.
We have The Parasites.
I can't do woohoo in Korean.
Yeah, it's fine. The Irishman. I don't.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec.
Little Women and Jojo Rabbit.
Yep.
I believe that's all. Oh no,
so
we got Marriage Story as well. Sorry, I needed to scroll down and I missed that.
Okay.
So yeah, those
First
are the
of
best
all,
pictures.
which ones of these have you and haven't seen?
Okay. Well, I've seen Ford vs Ferrari. I've seen Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, and Jojo Rabbit.
Yep.
And that's it.
So you haven't seen.
I haven't seen Little Women. I haven't seen Marriage Story. I haven't seen Parasite.
Okay, the only one I haven't seen is Parasite.
Yeah.
That's because that's had a real cinematic release here in Australia.
I think it has, but I think it's been on limited release.
It's been extremely limited.
And it's very difficult to find.
Yeah.
Because it was actually released over here 6 months ago, 7 months ago or something.
But it didn't receive any. So it was basically in 3 or 4 cinemas, indie cinemas around the country. And then
the
it got
entirety of Australia, by the way.
Then it got re-released Oscar time, so about a month ago. But even then, it's still hard to get to the movies that
it's only in those, like, maybe 3 more cinemas than it was the first time around.
The Lighthouse isn't even coming for another month.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, should we go into anything on here you're disappointed isn't on here?
Isn't on here. I would need to come up with a whole other list.
Yeah, but okay, let's just start with what's on here then.
Okay, well, one thing that I am disappointed by not being on here is the Nightingale.
Yes.
Phenomenal
An Australian movie that's actually decent.
Yes, a phenomenal film done by the same director who did The Babadook.
Yep.
And by all accounts, this film is incredible.
It's shocking. Now, I can understand some people not voting for it because it has a very detailed, very dark scene near the start of the movie. But I will say it doesn't Quentin Tarantino it, if you know what I mean. It doesn't lavish in the darkness.
Yeah.
It's dark and
it accepts it for what it is, and then it uses it for its own narrative.
I will say this going off other people who have seen the movie because it's another movie, even here in Australia, hard to track down. So
yeah, what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah,
it's a film that was made here by an Australian director, and it's still not as easily accessible as it should be.
Meanwhile, Ride Me Like a Girl is everywhere. I mean, Ride Like a Girl.
Well, it's not everywhere. I haven't seen much of it recently.
It was in every Australian cinema.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's an unchallenging look at Australian writing culture.
Well, I'm just going to sum it up. Ride like a girl. I almost can't not say it.
Ride me like a girl.
And
I'm sorry. I apologize for my.
What's the bird movie? The
bird movie.
The one with
the Nightingale.
No, the bad one.
Storm Boy. Storm Boy. That's a piece of shit.
That's it. There were 2 Australian movies last year that received wide release that were absolutely terrible. When a good one comes around,
they all are terrible though. This is the problem. This is the Hollywood effect. When producers have full control over a film, all the money goes to marketing. Like they get a lot of money for marketing, but the film itself suffers because it's no longer what the director envisioned or the writer envisioned. Because
the
all
Nightingale was good, and we
all
didn't get
that creativity is gone. And exactly, the Nightingale was good. The Nightingale was fantastic because the director had full creative control, and only a select few producers would work with them.
So I think I don't know if it's having another release.
It should be.
But if it's not, the Sydney Film Festival
I'll buy it on Blu-ray.
Okay. I don't even know when it's coming to Blu-ray, though. But the Sydney Film Festival will have it at the middle of the year.
Yes, it will.
So I get to see it then.
God, what a shame, though. What a shame. So yeah, there are a few films that I would like to see on it. Another one would be Knives Out. I would like to see it for Best Picture. And before anyone complains about it not being a drama, we have Jojo Rabbit on the list here.
Yeah.
So that doesn't fly anymore. Like we're beyond the but it has to be a drama bullshit.
There is another one as well. The animated movie about the hand.
The Day I Lost My Body.
Yes, apparently. I mean, from all accounts, it's a fantastic movie.
It's on Netflix as well, if you guys want to watch that.
Another possible snob, basically, because it's an animated movie.
Yeah. The Academy Awards are just a bit of a joke now. Okay, well, let's talk about who we think will win and who we want to win.
Can we just talk about the elephant in the room first?
All right, go for it.
The Irishman.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Okay, we did a podcast on this.
Martin Scorsese, he's a legend in Hollywood.
We love him. Let's be honest. Like, his work is fantastic.
Yes.
Most of his material is great. But The Irishman did not mean anything to me.
It's not satisfying. It's not interesting.
It's long and boring.
It's long-winded. And I've yet to come up against somebody who can adequately say to me, this is why it's valuable.
I read a review from Gilliam, who said his wife fell asleep in the movie, which is the best.
Terry Gilliam?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the best he could say about it. He said it wasn't spiritually investing as Silence, and it wasn't criminally interestingly detailed as Goodfellas.
Yeah.
And that's probably...
And The Departed as well. Like,
yeah.
I mean, let's not forget, Scorsese has made amazing films in the past. Even as little as 3-4 years ago with Silence. Silence is one of my favorite films of his. It's not favorite for a lot of people, but for me it is. It really spoke to me. And seeing this film, I was incredibly disappointed because I expected something more. That's not to say that the acting wasn't incredible. That's not to say that the dialogue wasn't great.
Yeah.
It's just the story, the story that this thing is trying to say.
And the way it's laid it out.
And the way it's been laid out, it doesn't...
It drags.
It doesn't feel like it has a purpose.
It reminded me of Dragged Across Concrete, which I also saw last year, which felt like it was designed to drag the audience across concrete. It was deliberately paced and set out to be distressing, but not in a good way, not in a way that felt like it had impact. It felt very cynical. Yeah. It
definitely did. In this film, we get to the end scene of The Irishman, and we realize that it's all about dealing with your mistakes before you die, or something like that. But the ending comes too little, too late, in a way that it's just kind of like, well, that was meaningless. Like we've gone through all of these different.
And it's not like his arc was meaningless. It felt like that was it felt any meaning was meaningless.
Yeah, like it didn't matter.
No.
And sure, you can take that as, oh, that's really meta, or oh, that's really interesting that, nothing matters, or like the meaning doesn't matter. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, there was been great.
There was a 4-hour cut of this movie. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me because it felt like as much as there is in this movie, there's a lot missing, and there's still too much.
Yeah.
There
are scenes that shouldn't be there. Yeah. That are there. Mm-hmm. It's like trying to watch all 3 Godfather films back to back.
Yeah.
It's almost identical to that, because there's parts that you're like, this is from Godfather 3, and it's just dull and boring, and nothing's happening, and yeah, that's what it feels like. The Irishman, I don't believe deserves to be Best Picture. However,
it has spoken to some people.
It has spoken to some people, mostly in the generation that the Academy caters to.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think it's got a higher chance of winning than a lot of the other stuff on this
Really?
list.
I still don't think it's going to win.
I don't want it to win, and I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has a better chance of winning, but I still think it's got a higher chance of winning than Jojo Rabbit, Little Women.
Oh, Jojo Rabbit doesn't have a chance.
No, it's a token nomination, unfortunately. I think it does deserve to win at some point.
I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie. So.
I think it's a great film. It's for me, it's up there in my top 5 for 2019.
Okay.
Really, really loved it. I just for me, it's very hard for me to find a film that manages to handle both comedy and also just crippling, depressive subject matter and still pull both of those off.
It reminded me of some early 90s movies such as The Little Princess and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Movies you're seeing tragic events through a kid's eyes. In fact, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a Studio Ghibli film. What's it called?
I don't know.
The firebombing in Japan.
Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, that's actually what it reminds me of to a certain extent.
Okay, because it reminded me of what's that old Italian war film?
Oh, the Vita e Bella,
where the father is trying to distract his kid, and
Life is Beautiful.
Yeah, Life is Beautiful. That's what it reminded me a lot of. With this, like, you've got these characters in it that are seeing life through very childish eyes, very, well-meaning eyes. But they're dealing with stuff that they're far out of their depth with. Yeah. And Sam Rockwell, oh my God. Sam Rockwell in this film is fantastic. And there's so many layers to each of these characters that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like Sam Rockwell and, what's his name from Game of Thrones? Alan Alfie. Their relationship in the film.
Alfie Allen, yeah.
Alan Alfie.
The name's Alfie. Ellen Alfie.
That's great. But their relationship in this film it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. Like, it honestly is hilarious. It made me crack I was laughing so much when they were on screen together.
Yeah.
Because they had this great chemistry and the back and forth was fantastic. And then their ending, broke my heart. Like, seeing Sam Rockwell do what he did at the end of the film was just beautiful to me. And
there is
awesome.
Scene where it starts with a butterfly and it ends with a pair of shoes. I don't want to say anything more.
Oh, man.
But that was...
I wept in the cinema. Yeah. I cried.
We'll get to ScarJo in a sec, but...
Yeah.
I've got our fingers crossed for double. Anyway, let's
we'll get there. We'll get there. So those are the Best Picture nominations.
Yeah. I'm gonna we've got more to talk about. Little Women. I've seen it. You haven't.
Yes, that's right.
It's Little Women. It's really well constructed. It's a great adaptation, but ultimately, it's still just Little Women. I don't think.
I don't think it'll win. Just based on it being made by a woman and a cast of women.
That shouldn't matter, but
I'm saying it shouldn't. But it probably does.
Period pieces have won before. There was Emma, the last Emma that was made.
Who directed it?
Emma. What?
No, Emma Watson was not directing.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like I was questioning myself. It's Emma Thingamajig.
She didn't direct it.
Oh, she wrote it.
Yeah, she wrote it.
Oh, okay. Emma Thompson. That's the one.
Yeah, she wrote it. She didn't direct it.
Who directed it?
I'm pretty sure it was what's his name?
Thingamajig.
The guy from Much Ado About Nothing. He does so much Shakespeare stuff. I'm pretty sure he directed it.
Branagh.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh. I think it was him. I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, look it up. What year was that Emma one? Anyway?
95.
But I think that we're kind of in a day and age where certain people are overcorrecting. In terms of who they're going to nominate and who's going to...
It was 96.
Win. Okay, 96. Who directed it?
Douglas McGrath.
Douglas McGrath. Douglas McGrath.
And it won score.
Yeah, see, there you go.
And it had a Goop Lady as the lead.
Oh, God. The Goop Lady.
The Goop Lady.
Oh, dear. But yeah, I don't think, even if it was Best Picture material, even if everyone else said, yeah, that's got to win, I don't think it will, because I don't think the Academy's ready for it.
Saoirse Ronan might get a win.
Maybe, yeah. 1917. I don't think it has a prayer, to be honest.
Really?
I don't think it has a prayer.
I don't think it will win, but I think it's got to be up there.
I think it's up there for us. I think a lot of people who have seen the film are going to go, yes, that should win. Or at the very least, it should be a close second. But I don't think it will, based purely on how it's being received as a gimmick. And I think the Academy does take those views when it comes to, you know what I mean?
I
Because
know what
like
you
half
mean.
the Academy is the foreign press anyway.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about people who are outspoken and whose opinions and views make it to the media before any of this comes out.
Yeah.
So if we're hearing about them believing that it's a gimmick before all the nominations come out, then I think, I don't think it's going to win. I think it's.
I think that's just sad because anyone who's
sad.
seen it.
It is sad. It's a fantastic film, and it deserves every good thing that's coming towards it.
Yeah.
It's just it's disappointing that people would let this creative way of shooting something enter into it as a negative thing.
Yeah.
Because it isn't.
It's a clever mechanism to help you enter the movie.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And something that really disappointed me, Doug Jones, who you know as David Bowie's son, who directed Moon and a lot of really great films, he thought it was a gimmick as well, unfortunately. I saw a post on Twitter about how he didn't like the movie. And a lot of people posted back saying, no, I'm sorry, but respectfully disagree with your opinion, which is great. I love that he's open enough to go on Twitter and say, I didn't feel what I wanted to feel from this movie.
We're like that with The Irishman. A lot of people have liked The Irishman.
Yeah.
We're just going to say openly, didn't connect with us in any regard.
Not at all.
I mean, I still appreciated...
there are moments that I appreciate it, definitely. There are moments that are really strong and I love them, but...
And there are things you'd like to see more of,
yeah,
but still.
But a lot of that stuff is undercut and a lot of that stuff has been taken out, or it feels like it's been taken out. Anyway, that's beside this point. How do you feel about... Sorry?
We didn't feel 1917 was missing anything, though.
No, definitely not. It had everything there.
Even the people who were claiming that there was no woman in it, there was even a great, fantastic female character in this.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and she is part of this myth, like that myth idea that I was talking about earlier. She is part of that. She's almost like this goddess of respite that comes to this character in a moment of need, and it's just beautiful, and very, very, very epic and mythological, and I love it. Anyway, should we talk about what we think will win, and what we think we want to win?
I think Once Upon a Time. Well, I was actually thinking Once Upon a Time in 1917 will win, but you don't think 1917 has a prayer.
Well, I just don't think... I think if a lot of people in Hollywood, a lot of the talk in Hollywood is that it's a gimmick, then they're not going to use that to vote. Like, they're not going to vote for it.
And let's be honest, it's a list of 9. They're going to click, you go, okay, not going to... No. Okay, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But then people like that with Tarantino as well, like, okay, that's a Tarantino film, no.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard too.
Yeah, it does. I don't think Joker will win.
I don't think Joker will win either, even though we haven't talked about Joker at all. But from a impact across, it was the film to see last year in some respect.
Yeah, it was the pop culture moment of 2019, I believe.
And for a very anti-blockbuster movie in a way, that's an incredible thing.
Yeah. It was a solid film. I don't think it's a perfect film.
No, it's...
I don't believe it even deserves to be nominated for Best Picture, in my opinion. I don't think it has all of the ingredients to make it there. But that doesn't mean it's a bad film or even a mediocre one.
In some ways, it reminds me of the Swan director. What's his name? Aronofsky?
Yeah, Darren Aronofsky.
It reminds me of an Aronofsky movie.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No. I mean, his films frequently have been shunned from award season for being very controversial. Mother was another one.
I loved The Black Swan, though.
Yeah, Black Swan was great. But a lot of people shun that as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was, he's very divisive as a director. And I feel like Joker was one of the most divisive films of the last decade as well. But I don't think it will win. I don't think
it will win either.
Has a hope. I would like, I haven't seen Parasite. And I want to see Parasite.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, it's a very important cultural film, not just for Korea, but also for the world in general.
To lay out the plot, basically what happens is it's a microcosm where one family somehow manages to get themselves all jobs as people working for this other rich family.
Yeah.
And so there's a social dynamic there instantly created. And at one point there's a flood that happens and you get to see drastic...
both sides of how that flood affects those families. And yeah, it sounds really interesting and it sounds very culturally relevant. And I would love to see it, but we don't have an opportunity to see it just yet. So I can't really comment on whether I would want to see that win or whether it has a chance.
I'm a big
to
fan
win.
of Bong Joon-ho. I loved
Yep.
the last 2 movies I've seen that he's made.
Okja. What other
Snowpiercer.
films have you? Oh, so you've only seen some because he did The Host as well,
Yeah.
which was one of his earlier films, which was also quite good. Weird, very weird movie,
In a good way.
but very good. And yeah, he's a fantastic director. He speaks, and this is what he said. He speaks in the language of film, and that's one of the things that he like. He would
used
love
to be
be able to,
which is kind of rare. It's very rare, and I've
to make that jump.
Yeah, I was listening to another critic talking about it. And he says it's incredibly difficult because you have to literally separate yourself in many ways. Because and this critic himself said it's actually very difficult for a critic to become a good filmmaker.
Yeah.
For a variety of reasons.
Yeah. Well, you've got that perfectionist streak because you've been looking at films where you want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you don't see perfection, or you do see perfection. Regardless, you're going to be always chasing that as a filmmaker unless you can switch it off. If you can switch it off and become just single-mindedly able to follow through on what you want to create, you'll be fine. It's very difficult to get there.
Finding your own voice is very important as a director. And if you're a critic, you actually have to silence that voice. So
you have to turn off the critic voice and find your human voice. You have to be present. You have to be human again, and that's so difficult. That's so difficult. Like that's something that I've been struggling with all of last year, through stuff that has nothing to do with the film industry or like my desire to create. And finding out who I really am and what makes me tick as a person. I feel like that's so important to be human first before you become a filmmaker or before you even tell stories.
Before you're a creator, you have to realize that what part of yourself you're putting into anything you create.
Yeah.
And be aware of it. And because if you take it too personally, it can hurt you. And if there's nothing there, then you're...
there's nothing.
There's no substance. That's what,
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think. Well, it's hard. It's hard. I think.
Oh, Marriage Story.
I think it's. I think
we
it's
haven't talked about Marriage Story either.
I don't think Marriage Story will win.
No, I don't. Is it basically because it's Noah Baumbach and he never gets any?
Yeah, I think it is.
It is fantastic. I think it may get a couple of actors.
You think you get a surprise, a bit of a surprise win, here and there?
I think both Driver and ScarJo are incredible. The script is also incredible. I don't know if the script will win though, but it is amazing.
I've heard from Adam Driver himself that when he gets nominated for stuff like this, like what he did with Marriage Story, he kind of thinks it's a bit of a joke because it's the easiest job in the world when you've got a good director and a good script.
Yep.
And
his performance is still amazing though.
Oh no, nothing to undercut his performance, but he is right because as an actor, if I get given a really good script, the words speak to you, and you feel an emotional connection to those words straight away.
The way this is directed, often theater directors don't make good cinema directors because the way they interact. But this, even though it, and funnily enough, involves theater a little bit, it feels like Noah himself is. The way he's directing is very much a theater director's way. Yeah. But it works really well in this because it brings out the rawest performances when they need to be. And the comedy works as well and it needs to be a little bit funny as well. So
that's good. I need to watch it.
It is good. It's not a perfect movie, but it is a very good movie.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So who do you reckon will win? I think it's a toss-up between Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and sadly The Irishman.
I still don't think Irishman's going to win.
I don't want it to win, but I think it will be a toss up between those. Let's say we go off of the last 3 years of the Academy choosing who will win.
I still think it's Once Upon a Time. I think
it's between Once Upon a Time and The Irishman. I won't be surprised if The Irishman
unless
wins.
enough people vote against it because it's Tarantino, because Hollywood is ridiculous like that.
So are wannabe directors. It's weird. Like the amount of hate that Tarantino gets from first-year film students is ridiculous.
I can understand some of the moral objections to stuff like Django Unchained and stuff where there's this sort of moral credence that's put on his violence where it's understandable. I mean, I love it in Inglourious Bastards and I still enjoy it in Django Unchained. But I can understand like when you see a guy blowing a house away and it's meant to be celebrated, it's like you get annoyed at that.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I love what Quentin Tarantino does with his dialogue. That's my favorite
and
part.
he does the bomb under the table better than anyone. It's far better than JJ. And
I'm having a drink of water.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm kind of looking around and realizing
man.
I've left mine out of the room.
You fool.
I am a fool.
You fool. Yeah, JJ Abrams doesn't really do bomb under the table stuff. He does mystery box stuff, which is
Very different.
So
we move on to the next thing.
Yes, let's move on.
Because one thing we've noticed very quickly is there are 9 movies nominated for Best Picture, but there are only 5 nominees in most categories. And this year it feels like, well, some of them are stacked, some of them
disappointment.
I think one of them seems easy to me, but the rest seem hard.
Disappointment.
Okay, so what's the next section?
The next section is Best Actor. So we've got Jonathan Pryce, Adam Driver, Antonio Banderas, Joaquin Phoenix. I almost said Jacking Phoenix. Leo DiCap. I wrote down Leo DiCap for Leonardo DiCaprio, and I feel really smart about that.
Oh, well done.
And that's it for the Best Actor nominations.
Okay. We haven't seen Two Popes. It is on Netflix, so we could watch it, but it's not our sort of movie.
I've heard that it's not it's above average.
Yeah, that's the same thing I've heard about Pain and Glory, Antonio Banderas movie.
Antonio Banderas,
but he's great in it.
Yeah,
which is probably the same thing with the Two Popes.
Well, it's about time, really, because Antonio Banderas, he's kind of taken almost like a little break from making movies the last 5 years.
He had personal issues.
Yeah. Yeah, which is fine, and I'm glad to see him come back. Yeah, because he's a fantastic actor.
Brendan Fraser. We're happy to see him back too.
Yeah, I hope to see him in more stuff.
We love you, Brendan. Brendan over.
Oh dear, there's so many jokes I could make with that, but I'm not going to because that would be just crossing a line. So who do you reckon is going to win? I reckon if we go off the last couple of years.
Okay, who do you think?
Joaquin Phoenix will win.
I think Joaquin Phoenix is going to win. I actually almost want him to win too.
I actually want, from what I've heard, I want Adam Driver to win.
He is good.
Also, Leo's performance in Once Upon a Time, the scene where he's in the trailer, screaming at himself to get it together, and he's going to kill himself if he drinks one more time. A lot of that was actually ad-libbed by Leo himself.
Some of the performance afterwards is as well.
Yeah. And so his performance in that, to be able to embody that character so well, and yes, you can say, that's kind of just him going through what he would normally go through because he's playing an actor. He's an actor playing an actor. That's fine, but at the same time, a lot of people don't realize how much mental strain you actually have to go through to become a character or to even put yourself out there on screen. It's very difficult. It's not easy. And
especially when you've been through a lot of pushbacks, as his character had at that point. Yeah. It is a very good scene. It is one of those Oscar-winning scenes. However, I also think Joker. There are a couple of scenes in Joker where Joaquin Phoenix has a couple of the endings,
Oscar-winning moments. Yeah, let's say that his
performance on the Murray Show is great.
Yeah.
The scene when he's talking to his mother just before she passes away is also.
We're still doing spoiler alerts here.
His mom dies during the movie. I didn't see how she died.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're still doing them. Why are we doing them?
I don't know.
People have seen this movie, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone's seen it.
Everyone's seen it.
So he kills his mom.
Yeah.
Oh no, I spoiled it for you.
Yeah.
For the 1% out there that's listening to this. I agree. I think he is a fantastic actor, and I think the film, the him winning the award is the most likely outcome. But I don't believe he'll win because his performance was good. I think he'll win because the film was controversial. Similar to how
Leo won.
No, Rami Malek won.
Oh, okay.
Last time. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, his performance was the best part of that movie.
But that's what I'm saying. Also, Joaquin Phoenix's performance in this film is the best part of this movie. Yes, the plot is decent. Yes, the pacing is good. But it's nowhere near as great as Joaquin Phoenix's performance. And I feel like that is the centerpiece of this film. And those are the films where the best actor wins the award.
Yeah.
Not best picture, but best actor.
His performance is also, and as that character is vital to the movie because it is very much a one character movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a character piece.
Yeah.
So yes, I can understand that.
I'm saying, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying they'll probably give him the award for not those reasons.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And in many respects, Leo has the exact opposite problem, where his role is subject to his relationship with Brad Pitt's character,
Yeah,
which is a bit derivative. So
to a point.
yeah.
To a point. But then again, like,
But seriously, I think I still prefer Joaquin Phoenix's performance to Leo's, as great as it was in Once Upon a Time.
yeah, or maybe it's because I've seen the film like more than twice.
Okay.
That I'm kind of just over it.
It is a draining, emotionally
it's
moving.
very, very, very draining. But anyway, so yeah, okay, that's what we're thinking.
Driver is good though.
He is, yeah,
and nothing to take away from our old favorite, Banderas and is it Price?
yes, it's Price.
We love Jonathan Price.
I kind of do want him to win. I think for me, he's the underdog in this race, compared to all the other actors. I feel like he's the one that hasn't been there as much as all of the other, including Adam Driver. Even though Adam Driver's been only like in the industry for the last 8 years.
That's the other thing we should mention about Driver is that there are more than one movie he could have been nominated for in the last year. And we're not talking about Star Wars.
No.
There are other movies. He's been in a lot recently.
He's been in heaps. There's one on Netflix. Well, there's 2 on Netflix. And there's one on Amazon as well. Anyway, on to Best Supporting Actors. We have Anthony Hopkins, we've got Brad Pitt, we have Joe Pesci, and we have Al Pacino.
So we've got Tony, we got Tony, we got Tony, we got Tony, and we got Tony.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah.
Who do you want to win? Let's go with that one first.
I'm
going Pitt.
Yeah,
I'm going Pitt. Even if he gets a win.
Well, I think
for Ad Astra, but for this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they go, oh, we didn't nominate you for Ad Astra, so here, have an award for Best Supporting. I'll be happy because I loved him in both of those movies.
Yes.
Who do I think will actually win?
Well, I think Brad Pitt will win, so I'm actually struggling to think about who I'll want to win in that case. I mean, I could.
It might be Pacino. He's about, and
he's the best part.
He's
the best part of
The
Irishman. Yeah.
He might win. I haven't seen Two Popes, so I can't speak to Hopkins' performance, but he's always a solid bet.
Yeah.
He honestly is. He's one of the best in the beers.
He sure is.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot Tom Hanks as well.
Yeah. But once again, it's like Tom Hanks. It's like, we could just give it to Tom Hanks because it's Tom Hanks.
That's it, yeah. And he's one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, according to people.
Yeah, and he's also playing one of the nicest guys who ever lived in Hollywood, so...
Yeah. All right, here's the big one.
Yeah.
Best Actress.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah, so we got ScarJo, we've got Charlize Theron, we've got Renee Zellweger, we got Cynthia Erivo, and Saoirse Ronan.
So just to clarify, that's for
best
Judy
actress
for Renee.
Yeah.
It's for Bombshell for Charlize. Who I don't think will win.
No. And for ScarJo, it's Marriage Story.
Marriage Story, which is fantastic. She is fantastic in it.
Yeah. Cynthia Erivo did what was she?
Harriet,
yes, that's right. Harriet Tubman,
which is a good role, but I
don't think the film was as well received as it could have been.
No, and I think she's a token nomination.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna win. Sadly, like her performance, probably is nomination worthy, but I don't think she was nominated for a performance. I think she was nominated for a skin color. It's depressing. It's very depressing.
Who am I missing?
Saoirse Ronan.
Oh yeah.
Was nominated for Little Women.
So I think it's between Saoirse and
ScarJo. Yeah, I agree.
Having seen both the movies, I mean, they're both fantastic. It's a coin toss in some respect. So
I want ScarJo to win.
I also want ScarJo to win. I also think she will win because I think this is, out of all the nominations for Marriage Story, the most likely one to win. Basically because Saoirse Ronan's won it before, and while she's good in the movie, very good, she doesn't. She has the easiest role to win with.
Yeah.
She's perfect in the movie, but at the same time, it's not a performance that stands out. It's almost the opposite of the Green Book problem, where the performances were stronger than the movie itself. Therefore, it felt respectable for them to win for it, even though the movie wanted to. I feel like with this one, it's more that the performances are great in the collective, but I don't think they'll win. I think the movie will win script, best adapted script.
Yeah.
But which is another tight race. Both of the scripts are. No, I'm not going to talk about them today, though. No, I think ScarJo will win. I want ScarJo to win.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to think about anyone else.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. Well, on to Best Supporting Actress then. We have some familiar faces.
Yeah.
We got Kathy Bates.
Wow, she's back.
So if you don't know who that is, she was nominated for Stephen King adaptation back in, when was it? 1993 or something. what was it called? It was
I'm trying to remember.
the lady who picks up the author and smashes his legs and hobbles him to keep him there because she's his biggest fan. She won for that back then. And we got Margot Robbie for Bombshell again. ScarJo for Jojo Rabbit. Florence Pugh for Little Women. Laura Dern for Marriage Story as well.
I think it's Pugh or ScarJo again.
Wow, so it's between.
I actually think Pugh will win this.
Yeah.
You know what sucks is like when you get nominated in both, it's like almost means you won't win either.
Yeah.
But
it's the sympathy kind of like you get one, but you can't get the other.
You know, and I know you know because I already told you. No one has ever won in the same year Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor or Actress.
Yeah. I kind of really want her to get both.
I kind of do too, which would be so funny.
But it'd be great. I think it'd be great.
Her performance in Jojo Rabbit is essential, and it is fantastic.
Yeah.
I actually think she's better in Marriage Story.
Really?
Yeah. She's that good in Marriage Story.
Holy shit! Because I loved her in Jojo Rabbit. I thought she was just so perfect in Jojo Rabbit. So wow. Okay, I have to see Marriage Story. Yeah, so it's either Florence Pugh or ScarJo.
We haven't seen Bombshell. I don't intend to see it because it's one of those movies.
Yeah.
It's a movie that feels like it should have come out a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's a very important movie. From what I've heard, the performances do carry the movie, so which means it's a sort of skin deep movie in that respect.
Well, let's move on to Best Director. The nominations for Best Director. We got Tarantino, we got Todd Phillips, we got Bong Joon-ho, we have Scorsese, and we have Sam Mendes.
I'm going to go on a limb and say Mendes is going to win this one.
Really? Okay.
Because I think he's not winning. If he,
yeah, is this going to be like what's his name? The guy who won Best Foreign Feature Film last year.
Oh yeah.
God damn it, I can't remember his name, and he makes some of my favorite films. I'm such an idiot. But yeah, he got did he win Best Foreign Feature and Best Picture?
Yeah,
he won them both. So it has happened before. So it'll be interesting to see if history repeats itself. But I don't think Bong Joon-ho will win.
No, I don't think so.
I think the Academy gave it to God, what's his name? Thingamajig. I feel terrible. No, I gotta look this up now.
Okay, you look it up.
You keep talking. You keep busy, and I'll search for clues.
So Tarantino, I think this is the one where I think he's more likely to win the movie than he is the Best Director. I've always thought that because there is this sort of Tarantino leaves a weird flavor in certain people's mouths.
Yeah, especially the Academies. Alphonse Cuarón.
Yeah.
What the. Roma.
Yeah.
Roma. Yeah, that was one of my favorite films of last year.
Yeah.
Stupid me. But yeah, I don't think Bong Joon-ho will win. I hope Todd Phillips doesn't win because I felt like the direction of Joker, it left a little to be desired in terms of the control of how the film unfolded.
Yeah, there are deliberate choices though made in that respect.
I understand that. So I do feel like there were moments, especially where there was impact and stuff like that could have been handled better. However, the more emotionally poignant moments of the film were handled perfectly.
Yeah,
I just feel like some of the other aspects of the film could have been held a little bit higher.
When you realize the whole movie is meant to be ambiguous as to you don't know what's real, I think his directing is like, okay, that makes sense, but at the same time, it's like
I feel like there was a more creative way to be able to achieve that.
I think it's a very difficult thing to do correctly.
It is very difficult. But I like I said, I don't think that Todd Phillips should win.
It's one of those things where it's like for Dark Knight, and Nolan deserved a nomination. He definitely didn't deserve to win it.
No,
he didn't get the nomination. So
so there you go. I think it's between. I hope it's between Sam Mendes and Tarantino. But I don't believe Tarantino should get it either. I think there are moments in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where the direction is kind of a little bit... I think
it's overdone.
Yeah. Overdone, but also sometimes a little bit slow.
Yeah. Oh, it is slow. There's a line between methodical and lazy.
Yeah.
Not lazy is the wrong word.
No. Like it's almost run of the mill for him, if that makes any sense. Because there are moments where it's just kind of like, well, you could get through this a little quicker.
And there are a lot of feet. He does like his feet on screen.
No, don't do that.
It's true though.
There's a lot of feet in Jojo Rabbit. Well, there's a lot of 2 feet in Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, but that's a creative deliberate decision.
Brutal.
Yes.
If you've seen it, you know what we're talking about. If you don't, go see it and then come back. Best animated feature film. We have Klaus.
Yep.
We have Missing Link. We have How to Train Your Dragon. I Lost My Body and Toy Story 4.
Yeah, we've already talked about Toy Story 4 and How to Train Your Dragon 3.
I don't think Toy Story 4 deserves to win. I don't believe How to Train Your Dragon deserves to win. I haven't seen Missing Link. I have seen Klaus, and I think I Lost My Body deserves to win.
Yeah, you loved Klaus though. Do you want to?
I did love Klaus. It's honestly classic, like golden age, not golden age, Renaissance age Disney.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like, even though it's not made by Disney. It's a beautiful, beautiful film.
See, I saw it and I liked it. I didn't love it as much as you did.
I really, really enjoyed it, and it really hit home for me emotionally about, you know, this kid who basically gets given almost everything on a platter and then thrown into the deep end outside to fend for himself.
Yeah, just your average life.
And well, I identified with
with
it quite a lot. And I think most millennials probably would, because that's us in a nutshell.
Yeah.
We kind of get given a lot on a plate, and then we're expected to survive without it by ourselves or all alone, and it's very difficult in this socioeconomic climate to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And this film kind of really spoke to me along those lines, and I thought it was beautiful, but I don't think it will win Best Animated Feature, even though the animation is absolutely gorgeous.
But
absolutely gorgeous.
From what I've seen of the animation in the Body movie,
I Lost My Body.
It is incredible, and from what I've heard, the whole story is incredible. I want to watch it. I haven't had time.
Is it a foreign film?
It was originally done in French, I think.
Yeah.
We haven't.
So
there's an English dub.
Yeah, but it is an original French film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is lovely.
I think that is.
We can quickly talk about. I think, even though we haven't written it down, I think script-wise, Best Adapted will be won by Little Women, and I think Best Original will be won by.
Excuse me, I'm having a drink of water.
I can't remember the nominees for that, but I do think if Deakins doesn't win for 1917, there is crime to be had and heads must be hung.
Yeah,
because that movie, cinematography-wise, is beyond perfect.
He has also gone without an award for an extraordinarily poor amount of time, and I'm including Blade Runner 2 in that.
2049.
Yes, he won that, but at the same time, he deserved to win so much more previously for other films.
I will say The Lighthouse only gets its single nominee.
Yeah, fuck that. What the fuck, man?
In cinematography, which is great from what I've seen of it. We haven't seen it yet.
They filmed. I did read this though. They filmed on an old, a couple of old cameras, like cameras from the 1980s.
That's lovely.
And 60s and all that other stuff. And they filmed on actual film on 4.3 film, I think it was. Wow. So it's classic film, and it's actually been made in the way that they would have made it back then, which is insane.
That is incredible. I'm skipping over Score and a bunch of other ones. Come on, why did they have them at the end?
I don't know.
Have I gone past?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Adapted screenplay, I said, was Little Women. Yeah. Best original, Knives Out. I think Knives Out will win.
I hope so. I really, really hope so.
Like the other ones are Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. But as good as they all are, 1917 isn't about the screenplay.
Yeah,
it's great as it is. It's not about it.
No.
Marriage Story's screenplay is brilliant, but there's a little niggle in there in the plot which leaves me unsatisfied. It's a very small niggle. Once Upon Hollywood, it's not about the screenplay again. It's great as it is. And well, I'm sure Parasite's screenplay is great, but I don't think they'll give it to a foreign movie because they're racist.
Yeah, they are. That's the Academy.
But also, Knives Out, we talked about before. It
deserves.
It's been snobbed.
It deserves so much more than what it's been given.
It's Ana de Armas. I think she deserved a nomination as well.
Oh my god! And Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig's fantastic. But there's another guy. I need to look him up because he plays the African American detective.
Oh yeah.
He's also in Uncut Gems.
Oh, okay.
And he's fucking amazing. So he was also in Get Out.
Get Out.
Yeah. Cast. I'm gonna look him up because it's a name that I've struggled to pronounce sometimes.
I will say this: Us didn't get any nominations whatsoever, but I'm also not surprised.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Okay.
Lakeith Stanfield. He Oh my goodness, he's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
He is a fantastic actor, and he's been criminally underlooked for most of his career.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. And I was so happy to see him in Knives Out. Like, as soon, because he was one of the first people you see in the film.
Yeah.
He's the one interviewing
Oh,
them.
the way they introduced Daniel Craig in the movie is perfect.
Amazing. Amazing.
I had
Anyway,
focus in the background.
what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little bit of a break because it is sweltering hot in here.
We'll be back, and we're going to pitch.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to talk, and we're going to talk shit, pitch, and we'll also maybe bring up some TV shows that have recently been released as well. So
We'll be back to fun stuff.
exactly.
And now it's time for a little segment titled Jordan and Scotty Tried to Pay Off Their Student Debt. Have you ever found that your beanbags are running out of beanbags? Well, we can't help you with that, but what we can add is cement polystyrene.
Cement polystyrene. Wow. I don't think I've actually experienced cement polystyrene, but I've heard all the big stars have been using it.
Yes, I mean, comfort these days is so overrated. So why don't you just try something more practical and long-lasting?
And it also has an added benefit of helping you lose weight.
It does indeed.
You can go to www.cementinyourbags.org and put in 1024 AD for a no discount whatsoever. It's just letting them know that we've sent you there.
It'll keep your Roman noses nice and healthy.
Exactly. Rub your faces in it.
I've actually changed into a new t-shirt because we got that sweaty in here.
Yeah, I haven't. I've just been in this nice little comfortable Under Armour sweat wicking fiber singlet,
Fancy.
which is it's nice.
Is it
It's
bamboo?
comfy. I have no idea. I'm not going to ask because asking never look a gift horse in the mouth, as
No.
they say.
I suppose not.
Because that's what asking gets you.
Speaking of looking at gift house, I got the line confused because
A
they say
gift
the line in The
House
Witcher
in the Morth.
and it's wrong.
What do they say in The Witcher?
Never look a gift goose in the mouth or something. The dwarves say it when they get the dragon teeth.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that.
I don't remember the line either.
You saw it more recently than I did, so
Yeah,
I trust you. You know what you're talking about, I guess.
but that sums up The Witcher. It had it ups and downs, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Well, we saw some TV shows.
Lots of stuff have come out recently.
Yeah, lots of interesting stuff. Lots of hits and misses, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, one of the biggest things that is on everyone's lips at the moment is Witcher, the TV show,
Yeah.
starring Henry Cavill as the Witcher.
I've
as
always
Geralt of
liked
Rivia.
Henry Cavill, even in his bad movies.
He's a very likable person.
He is.
He's a very I recently learned that he had a slump of about 3 years before he got into the role of Superman, where he gained 13, 14 kilos. He was a bit overweight. He got really depressed, and he felt like he wasn't gonna,
break through.
yeah. And then he got the call for Superman while he was playing World of Warcraft,
Wow.
and then he got the role.
Wow.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, he does love his games.
He does. He's a nerd. He's a massive nerd. I love that. I love that there's a role model out there that is an actor and loves his
I also
nerdy
learned
shit.
one of the, how we would have these after parties. There was one where there was press and people concerned, and there was one of the press ladies had a sort of meltdown because she didn't know what she was doing in her life. And Henry Cavill saw this out of the corner of his eyes and came over and said, "It's all going to be okay. It's going to be okay."
Aww,
Gave her a hug and took care of her. Was doing
that's
this.
nice.
It's like, and so afterwards she's like, "Yeah, I was saved by Superman."
Real life Lois Lane,
Yeah.
reporter having a breakdown.
Yeah.
And saved by
I
Henry
don't think
Cavill.
Lois Lane ever has breakdowns. She's
I
the sort
don't-
of hard, tough as nails sort of character.
Really? Because she finds herself in trouble a lot.
Yes, and she sort of makes her way
She's
through
the
it anyway.
archetype of damsel in distress.
Yes, but if you ever see Superman, she doesn't fit that type.
Unless you see Man of Steel or Superman vs. Batman.
Yeah.
She's definitely that type.
Okay, poor Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Not a role
Oh, man.
she's happy to have played, really.
No. And I feel bad for her. to
Yeah.
be honest. I feel bad for everyone in those movies.
Yeah, I mean,
Henry Cavill included.
yeah.
The poor guy.
He lost a lip.
He lost a lip to this movie. They had to CGI a lip onto the man. And I'm not sure if he's coming back for more Superman. Oh, I think he is actually. I I think
he has to.
Yeah, he's contractually obligated for like 2 more movies or something.
Yeah. It might just be one more because I think they've changed some of the conditions. Because I think originally Justice League was going to be a 2-movie thing.
That'll be good for him then.
Yeah. Well, he's got The Witcher going on. I think he's... The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was okay.
His role in Mission Impossible was fantastic.
It was.
He's one of the best bad guys in that world, the world of Mission Impossible.
I mean, Philip Seymour Hoffman's so good.
Oh yeah, but I said he's one of. I didn't
know.
say he was the best.
Yeah.
Just calm down. R.I.P. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Me too.
He was tragically taken before his time. I would have loved to see him in more stuff.
Everything he's in, he's good in.
Can you imagine now him being the Penguin in the new Batman film?
It'd be incredible.
That would be so awesome. Because he's just a phenomenal actor. Well, he was a phenomenal actor. And yeah.
Well, some people live through their achievements, and I think his performances, I'm thinking of Magnolia. There are some movies, there's a, what's the Matt Damon movie called, where he takes on this other guy's identity and he does all this stuff. It's got Jude Law as well. Really weird movie. But he's in it as a side character, and he's so good in it.
Yeah. He's also in
Twister?
No.
Well, he is in Twister, but
he is. That's not the one I'm talking about. Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, that's going to frustrate us.
It's the name of the character.
Yeah.
That's so annoying. But he's in that as the butler to the guy that he's supposed to collect the money for. Yeah, he's phenomenal. I love his acting style because it is actually very similar to my own. Whenever I'm acting, a lot of people go, "Yeah, that's a really realistic take. It's very similar to Philip Seymour Hoffman," and I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome."
There are some people who see him film and just, okay, this is going to be all right. Like Toby Jones is one of those for me as well.
Yeah,
yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Even if this movie's not that great, it's still going to be entertaining.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not a big Toby Jones fan. I'm not saying that he's a bad actor. I just don't. I feel like he's
one note.
Yeah, one note character actor.
Yeah.
He does one thing and he does it well, but he only does one thing, which it's fine. It's fine. He's a good actor.
Oh, speaking of one note actors, what's his name from the Transformers movies?
Hugo Weaving.
Well, no, an actual actor as opposed to a voice.
Shia.
No,
Mark.
The guy who plays the FBI character in all of them. Toady? What's Francisco Toady?
Josh.
Oh, what's his name?
Duhamel? No,
not the army dude.
I don't remember who you're talking about.
Okay, anyway, he's going to be a gay couple with Colin Firth in a movie coming out. Oh, what's his name?
What? He was in Transformers? I don't believe you.
Transformers cast. Why can't I remember his name? He's in loads of things. He's a good actor.
Show me a photo and I'll believe you.
Okay, cast.
He's not there, is he?
I
didn't think so.
Stanley Tucci.
Oh, Stanley Tucci. Yeah. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Why did Transformers? You could have said Hunger Games. You could have said.
Yeah, I could have said a whole bunch of good stuff.
You could have said Easy A.
Yeah.
He's fantastic in Easy. He's fantastic in everything. Let's be honest.
Even
you could have said The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
He's amazing in that too.
He's great as Glenn Close.
Yeah, exactly. And the Princess Bride.
Yeah. Glenn Close, another person who is great in everything she does.
Yeah. Scarily good. And scarily interchangeable. Like, she can play literally anyone and any gender.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett, same sort of actress.
Yeah. Yep. And also, what's her name?
Thingamajig?
The witch from Narnia.
Yes, the androgynous lady. What's her name?
The androgynous lady.
She is.
That lovely androgynous lady.
Yeah. She's in Snowpiercer as well.
She is, yes.
Oh, wow. We're terrible with names remembering today, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, it's hot. Guys, it's like, it's over 30 degrees here, and we're in a hot room, which means it's probably closer to 40 in here.
Did you want to pitch something?
Yes. Did you have anything that you wanted to pitch as well?
No.
Because I do.
Because what I was hoping...
I have an idea.
So what I was thinking is that you'll pitch this time and I'll pitch next time.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
then
fair.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing.
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton. That's it. That's the one.
It is indeed.
Do you remember all those fantastic films that Edgar Wright did?
No,
with
I completely
Shaun of the
forgot.
Dead. You don't know Shaun of the Dead?
I do know Shaun
You
of the Dead.
don't know Hot Fuzz?
I
Okay,
do.
good. So like a film in the vein of that, but it's about a group of paranormal investigators
Okay.
in a world where paranormal activity is 100% real and everyone believes it.
Doing a trailer voice, deep trailer voice.
I'm not going to do that because
Okay.
that's going to ruin it.
Okay.
I might do one later. But they exist in a world where this is real and everyone knows it's real, and they don't want to do it anymore because they don't find it exciting.
Oh, okay.
And what they really want to do is they want to do true crime.
Uh-huh.
And so they move out to the countryside in order to do true crime. And the crime that they're doing turns out to be a paranormal.
Oh, of course it does. This is like the reverse Scooby-Doo.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'd love to see. It's a comedy, obviously.
It sounds like something Edgar Wright would do as well.
It's a comedy horror in the vein of an Edgar Wright-ish type of film, about and also one of this group is a ghost as well. Okay. So they've got an inside person, as it were. That
sounds good. That sounds like a good pitch. I like it.
I think it would be a hit.
Give me a pilot, and I'll look at it.
A pilot.
First draft.
That's better.
Yeah.
I said movie, not a TV show. I don't think it'll work. Oh man, might work as a TV show.
Give me a pilot. Go find a
TM me. By the way, anyone else who's listening to this steals my idea. I know. Well, I don't know where you live, but I'll know instinctively that you've stolen it from me because I've already written this down. So I've got the copyright. All right. So if you go ahead and make a movie, I'm gonna sue your ass, and then I'll sue you, Scotty.
Why?
Just because.
Oh, okay. Just the usual reasons.
Yeah, that's the usual reasons.
Yeah.
For sitting there. For changing your shirt. How dare you?
I did change my shirt.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my pitch.
That's not bad. I like it. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, thank you.
You need a bit of improvement on the pitch work, but you're pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's coming.
In a world with supernatural activities, the police want to get it real.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's no, it's not. They're not police. They're just they're like
investigators.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they have like a catalyst that breaks them up, and they're like, "Oh no, we're spread out all over the place." And the main character, he's the one that wants to be like a true crime detective. And I'm thinking like there's another character who's always like it's the character that's always in the van doing research on a computer and like speaking into their ears and stuff, telling them what's what. And this person is the one that's like set up this true crime, but it's really a thing just to bring them all back together.
I see dead people. I know. You're talking to me right now.
And it starts like the first scene will be like they're in the midst of doing like a paranormal thing where they're being chased by like a demon or something and they're running away, but they're nonplussed about it because they're so used to it.
Yeah.
And they're just like they're doing their jobs and it's fun. It's like one part Ghostbusters as well, I feel.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, you've got the characters who they're used to this kind of thing, so they're like joking about stuff and yeah.
One thing I think we'll do in the next podcast is we'll go over movies we're looking forward to from this year as well.
That's a good idea.
Because there's a lot to talk about.
I haven't even looked at what's coming out this year.
There's been
apart from Dune. Dune is what I'm really keen for.
Ghostbusters.
And yeah, that's right. The Ghostbusters.
Time to Kill might be good.
Reitman's son is directing it.
Yeah.
A Time to Kill.
New Bond movie.
Ah, that's right.
That's not that far away either.
That's right. After the last one, I kind of just stopped listening.
It feels like every second one's good though.
Yeah, so this one should be good.
Well,
no, every first one is good. I think you mean because Casino Royale was good.
Yeah.
The second one not so good.
Skyfall was good.
Third one was good.
Yeah.
The fourth
Spectre
one
was a Russian mess.
Just trash. And then would this be the fifth one?
This would be the fifth one.
Yes, this will be the fifth one.
I was actually interested because there was an interview with Daniel Craig because apparently during the fourth one he was like he wanted to hang up his boots.
Yeah.
He was forcibly invested into that movie.
Which is fair that he wanted to hang up his boots because it stopped feeling like a fun job to him.
Yeah. But this one he was reinvigorated. It's like he wanted to play Bond again. And so there was talking about it was like, yeah, he got the fire back. So.
Yeah. So I think this film is going to be good. I hope so. And Cary Fukunaga is directing it, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah. He's the one who helped helm It Chapter 1, not Chapter 2, Chapter 1. He wrote that script and it was the better half of that 2-film series.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no sequel?
He also did True Detective.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how he got onto the scene, really.
True Detective was more cinematic than a lot of movies when it came out.
Oh, man. Even now.
First season is so good.
Yeah. Not sure about the second season. Second season kind of lost its way, but I don't think Cary had much to do with that.
Third season was all right.
Okay.
I think.
Mahershala Ali is in it, isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. I didn't go back to it though. The first season's just
That's fair.
they're each the unique show really.
Yeah.
Sort of the same as the True Horror series, although I don't watch any of them.
True horror.
American True Horror.
Oh, American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Is that what you? Okay. Yeah. Alright. Should we talk about trivia?
Trivia. Okay.
I love these new mics. They're so crisp. So crispy.
Yeah. So yes,
So
for all
you
those
got-
who hadn't guessed yet, we are indeed talking through new microphones. We don't actually have surgically enhanced vocal cords.
We could do ASMR videos if we really wanted to.
I don't think people would like that.
I don't know. Some people get turned on by this.
Thank you for that.
I'm speaking into Scotty's ear really close.
Okay, this person.
Deborah didn't like it.
Yes, that was that was a lovely, beautiful bark. Because they understood that ASMR is making me feel uncomfortable. This person is Irish and was born on the 7th of June, 1952.
So you could say he's an Irishman.
Yes, you could. This person has ranked among the 100 sexiest stars in film history and the top 100 movie stars of all time.
Oh, it's very clear. It's me then.
Yes. He has never won an Academy Award,
Yep, that's me.
but he has been nominated for one. Fuck.
It's not me.
He once, before the superhero movies were a big thing, starred in a superhero movie directed by Sam Raimi. And that's all I'm telling you.
Wow.
Do you have any idea?
I did, but then you kind of took it away from me when you said the Sam Raimi thing.
Yeah, now I'm double checking that to get my facts right. I think it is.
I don't think it is.
No, I was right. Yep,
It is.
I was right.
Oh no! Now I know who it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Okay, well, that's all I'm telling you. And thank you for listening, everyone. We really appreciate your patience with
Yeah.
us because
And I'm sorry if we got taken away, taken to another place.
yes. Please,
We've been taken thrice now.
yes, we have been taking thrice. Speaking of thrice, the third episode of Yeg Sweet is out. Please listen. Give it a
Yeg and
listen.
Sweet.
Yes, Yeg Sweet.
It's another side project aside from Yeet and Swag that
Yeah.
we've been working on, and we've like released 3 episodes of it now, and none of you have listened to it, and I'm
We do
so
love-
disappointed
it's filled
because
with
it's better.
spoonerisms.
It's better than Yeet and Swag, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Mhm.
And we've actually been in talks with Quentin Tarantino to make a film series
Mhm.
of Sweet and Yeg.
He doesn't know about this. We've been talking to him. He hasn't
Yeah,
replied.
yeah, he hasn't replied, but soon. We've
The
got our fingers
conversation has
crossed.
been had
Yes, and money has been offered,
or asked for.
but he still hasn't. We've given him like $5, and he still hasn't given it back. So
Yeah.
we're hoping to get that in the mail anytime soon.
Mhm.
Tarantino, if you're listening, please get back to us. That would be great.
For any particular reason, we
Thank
don't
you
mind.
guys for listening to this first episode of season 2. You can follow us on Instagram.
Stitcher.
You can follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean,
Anywhere you get
Spotify,
good podcasts.
everywhere you can get good podcasts.
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, we're on YouTube. You guys can listen on YouTube now because a couple of our friends were using YouTube as their
Yep.
main listening device, and we took it away halfway through the first season, and then we brought it back.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're wanting to listen on YouTube, you can do that.
If you have any feedback or information about what you'd like us to talk about, feel free to tell us as well, because
Yes,
then we don't need
exactly.
to think of things.
And you can email us at wemoviesfeedback@gmail.com.
Easy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So until then, I'm Scotty.
And I'm Jordan, and we hope your roasts are dark and your films are good.
And we have been sweaty.
Yes. Goodbye. ASMR video. Oh, that was the worst thing you've ever done. That's the worst thing you've ever. That's gonna haunt my nightmares.